All you hearing that? All you seeing this? I think there's it here. This is the one. We finally at that point in our hops bread journey where I could rest my tools down, and I think I could say with confidence that this recipe that I'm presenting here today is the recipe. This will give you a near perfect, because nothing could ever be perfect, but I will say it will give you a near perfect hops bread. The hops bread that I grew up knowing and loving. I think this recipe achieves flavor-wise, texture-wise. This is the recipe for you. So let me address the elephant in the room one time. This ingredient here. Now for the last recipe that I did, I would have used water only to hydrate the dough. Today I'll be using some beer. And there are a lot of people who jumped up in the comments and was like, it can't be real hops bread if you're not using actual hops. And I was speaking to Chris from Caribbean Pot. Well, he commented on the video and he said that back in the day his pops used to work in a bakery and they actually stopped using hops in the hops bread somewhere in the 50s or something. So if we go in by what Chris told me, then since the independence of Trinidad and Tobago, according to the people who are being pedantic in the comments, nobody actually ever tastes real hops bread, which I think, in my estimation, is a ridiculous thing to say. Yes, it might not be the exact thing as the original, but obviously, as time goes by, access to ingredients and that kind of thing always make recipes evolve over time. So where certain ingredients become inaccessible, you find ways to tweak and to update and that kind of thing. Now, saying that, and I'm also saying that what we see in today in terms of people putting out recipes for hops bread, I'm really not trying to knock nobody or anything like that, but really and truly, a lot of the recipes that I'm seeing, people are making dinner rolls and calling it hops bread. And I think that is one of the reasons why I wanted to go on this journey, because I really wanted to kind of bring it back to that traditional hops bread that I know and that other people know as well. So yes, it's not the original hops bread because it's not using actual hops flours, but I think it is as close as a replica as can be. So just to appease that, I am using beer, and this beer in particular is a very kind of hopsy tasting beer. So I'm using this, but obviously if you want to use some other beer or something else to your preference, you could. But if you want to follow this recipe and get exact results, I would suggest trying this one. This one does say on the label, brewed with the highest quality malt and hops. And I don't know how true that is, but I do know that this is a very hopsy tasting beer. It's a beer that I enjoy flavor-wise, so I'll be using this in it. And another ingredient that I overlooked, or tend to overlook sometimes when I'm making bread, is yeast. So this was the final change that I made, and I used this yeast here, which has a bread improver on it. I don't know what that is, but I have to say that when I used this instead of the one that I used previously, the results were phenomenal. This was the final key in the puzzle of figuring out why the hops bread wasn't coming out as light or as airy as I wanted it to be, or nice and crusty. This is the final ingredient. So in addition to the hops from the beer, the brand of yeast also makes a difference. And as I said, this is an unsponsored video, so I'm not being paid to say this or anything, but this yeast, it really did the trick and really gave me really great results. And of course, the other ingredient that makes the world of difference is having bread flour or baker's flour. So today, obviously, I am using bread flour again. Please do not use all-purpose flour for this. You really want to get the bread flour, strong bread flour or baker's flour, with that at least 12 grams of protein. That will definitely change the way the dough behaves, and it really will give you a superior quality hops bread. And the other ingredient that we need that is integral to the process is some vegetable shortening. We're using this in the final shaping of our hops. And in addition to us being able to handle the dough better by using this in the final shaping of the dough, because it is a tacky dough, it will also help in getting that nice crispy crust, that nice flaky crust. So this is another integral ingredient in this recipe. So yeah, I think that is it. For preamble, let me jump into it. Let me make these hops. All right, so the first thing I want to do is pour our beer into a container or jug. And we don't want any gas bubbles when we're making this bread, so I have to degas this or make it run flat. So if you wanted to, you could open the bottle ahead of time and just leave it out and let it run flat. But what I like to do is just use a whisk here and agitate it. And whisking it like this will actually help it release some of those gas bubbles. Because like I said, we don't need a carbonated beverage for this. We need it to be flat. And trust and believe, adding beer to this dough gives it some amazing, amazing flavor. Skimming off the froth. So for more precise results, I will be weighing the ingredients. So I have my beer here. I'm just going to pour that in. And as you can see, it has run pretty flat. It's not frothing up like before. So right now we are at 258 grams and we still need our 455 grams. So I'm going to top it up with some water, lukewarm water that is. Nice, so we had 455, actually it's reading 457. Let's take out a little bit, 456. All right, so to our beer and water mixture, I'm adding 8 grams of yeast, also adding 5 grams of salt. I wouldn't be adding any sugar because of course there is sugar in the beer. So no need to add any sugar to this. I'm gonna give this a whisk. Now we're adding 700 grams of our baker's flour or bread flour. I combine to bring this together in the bowl. At this point, I'm going to go in with my hands and just give it a squeeze. And this is to make sure that all the flour is well hydrated. So all the flour and liquid has been mixed together properly. Put this onto our work surface. And as you can see, the dough is already coming together. I've been only kneading this for less than a minute. And already it's smooth to the touch. Our dough has come together into a smooth ball and I've only been kneading this for about 2 minutes or so. As you can see, nice, soft, and I'm just going to place it back into our bowl. I'm going to cover this and let it rest for 20 minutes and then we're going to do our first stretch and fold. 20 minutes in and we have some nice activity going on here. The bread already giving off some real good aromas. That's the beer and the yeast working together. So I just want to grab it like this, hold it and stretch it towards the middle. Turn the bowl, grab, stretch and fold it towards the middle. Grab, stretch, fold it towards the middle. You want to do this about 4 or 5 times. Grab it, stretch and fold it towards the middle. And we're going to let it rest for another 20 minutes. We're going to come back and do our second set of stretching and folding. So as you can see, our dough has doubled in size and we have a lot of good activity happening here. So it's time for our second set of stretch and fold. Just gonna grab the dough like this, fold it towards the middle, turn the bowl, grab, grab, fold it, turn, fold it towards the middle. We're going to let this rest for another 20 minutes and then we're going to come back and do our final stretch and fold. Again, I just want to go in, stretch towards the center, Alright, so now we're ready to portion out our dough, and here is where the vegetable shortening will come in handy. So the dough is a very tacky dough, almost sticky. So what you would want to do to prevent it from sticking too much to your hands is just rub some of this lard or vegetable shortening onto the palms of your hands like so. And then you'll start to portion out. So I want to do them about 96 grams per loaf. So just gonna portion it out, weigh it. That's a little too much. Alright, that's good. Alright, so I'm going to rub some vegetable shortening on my hand here, and this is serving two purposes right now. It's going to prevent the dough from sticking to my hands, but it also is going to help form a nice crust, a nice flaky crust on the dough. And then we're just going to stretch, pull it, stretch, stretch, and what we're doing is just tightening the surface area of the dough ball. Pinch to seal at the bottom, and then just roll it in the palm of your hand like so. Perfect. Alright, so to form our hops once again, we're just gonna pull like this and stretch it onto itself. Pull and stretch, and what we're doing is just tightening the skin on the dough, tightening the surface of it. And once you have it tight like this on this side, we're just gonna place it onto the surface like this, cup our hands, and just roll right in between here. We're not applying much pressure at all, if any, just using this motion and the smooth surface to create some tension on the surface of the dough. And once that dough starts to feel nice and tight, that's it, we're done. So now that we have all our hops formed, I'm going to cover this and allow it to rest for about 30 to 40 minutes or until it's doubled in size. Alright, so our dough has doubled in size, so it's time to pop them in the oven. And the last step to make sure we get a nice crispy crust on our hops bread is to add some steam to the oven. So I have some boiling water here that I'm going to add to a tray that's at the bottom of my oven, and that's going to help get a nice crispy flaky crust on our hops. So into the oven with our bread. Now we're just going to add our hot water. Close it so the steam doesn't escape, and that's it. We're just going to let this bake for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so 20 minutes later and our hops are done. So that is it, fresh hops out of the oven. So I'm just going to allow this to cool a little bit before we dig right in. Okay, so this is the final result here, and I think we have all the characteristics of a good hops. We have a nice crispy and flaky crust. The inside is going to be soft but a little bit chewy, and you're going to have great flavor coming from the beer as well as the yeast and the fermentation, the right amount of salt. I think we're good. So I'm playing the mic here because I just wanted to hear this, right? You hearing that? You seeing that? You hearing that? It is crispy. It is flaky, flakes dropping all on top the countertop here. That is the characteristic of a good hops bread for me. A hops bread is not a dinner roll. It's not supposed to be buttery on top or nothing like that. It's supposed to almost be a little bit dryish, crispy and flaky. So that to me right here is perfect results. Perfect results. So to all the bakers and non-bakers out there, I really hope that you do try this recipe. I think that hops bread is a recipe we can't afford to lose because it is a big part of our food culture. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a share. As I said before, I will update the recipe on the website to reflect the changes in this video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please take a moment to do so. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.